I'm adapting this. I got this blade that come off an old plow somewhere. I don't know where it came from. And what I'm doing, I'm adapting it to this quad. What I'm doing is making an attachment so when you pull the blade up out of the road, the thing hinges and the blade runs clear up and sits way up here. Running up and down Big Gulch with the old kind of attachment that runs underneath the frame and runs back and fastens is no good because you can't get the blade high enough. Consequently, you can't run up when the snow is like 18, 20 inches because the blade's in the snow. So this way I can get the blade up out of the road, running four-wheel drive, and get up and then plow coming down. Anyway, I think this is going to work pretty good. I got the mount built that goes on the quad. It's just tacked together. It's not fully welded, but there. And I got this thing just got this built right here. This is where it attaches below. And then this radius is going to attach one to the other. It's a little more complicated than it looks, and I think it's going to work pretty good. I got to widen this little plow out a little bit. It's just a little bit narrow. See, it barely lines with the wheels. And you want it to go out 2 or 3 inches past the wheel so the tires aren't running up on the bank. You need to get them down where it's been plowed so the plow stays on the ground. Anyway, been working about a half a day on this thing. A couple days and I'll have it built, and I think it'll work pretty slick actually. It'll move back a little bit. It doesn't sit quite that far out. What I've done, the reason the board's on it, they got the quad sitting level, and then the blade is sitting level. I don't know how else I could do it on this rough, bumpy ground, but anyway, the weather's pretty nice. It's like 45 degrees today. It's November like 27th, something like that. There's my buddy. He makes sure that I do everything right. Sucker stands here all day, goes right over there and poops and comes back, driving me nuts. As far as I got today, that's far enough. Tomorrow I'll work on the connection right there. I haven't quite figured that out, but I got a couple ideas. Well, I need to do the connection right there. This right here is pretty much figured out. Those will weld in place right there, and then it'll get a gusset in between, and yada yada yada. Another gusset right there. So this is pretty much figured out right here. Yeah, right there. This is going to be the deal right here. And I got to finish that mount I just built right there. It's incomplete. So that's tomorrow if it don't rain or snow. I've got this thing almost done. There's a problem that I kind of knew was going to happen, and I'm going to have to do something about it. You see how the blade is flattened out there and the springs are stretched? Well, going on, when you hook a rock, that blade is supposed to do that. That's what the springs are for. Lets the blade spin around. But what's happening is then the quad because of where it hinges right there on the quad starts to run up on it. In other words, lift the front tires off the ground. I kind of knew that was going to happen, so I got to build a stop right in there. So when this thing hinges, it runs up and hits against this frame right here. So there's going to be a little stop that comes up and bumps that, and I got to figure out exactly where I want that. Not only that, the winch line is going to run down and fasten right there, right in the center of that thing on the backside. And that's to lift this blade up and down. Now I can pull this thing up and keep it a couple inches off the surface when I'm plowing. It would probably solve the problem, but still yet, if it hooked up, then the quad would just go right, could flip the stinking quad over. So I'm going to put that stop on. And then another thing is on the blade itself. I noticed I went online and looked, and I noticed the new blades have a little foot on each side that keeps the blade off of the ground a couple inches, or an inch or so. So the blade slides along on those little feet rather than the whole blade touching the ground. Now, what I have here would work bitching in a parking lot somewhere on asphalt. But out here on this stuff, it's going to be hung up all the time. So I'm going to have to get this worked out. Anyway, this thing is about done. The mount I'm pretty happy with. This saw is going to work pretty good. You can take it off there in the matter of a couple of seconds. I got to bolt that thing on and then get that stop built. Get the eye on there for the winch cable to hook to. And then fool with it. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Working on that thing. Today is the first day of December 2011. It's just now 12 o'clock. And the sun is just now starting to peek over the ridge into the canyon. Right there. Just now. So 12 o'clock. 29 degrees. No snow. Supposed to be pretty nice here for the next 3 or 4 or 5 days. About this temperature, about 30 degrees. Anyway, I just about got this thing done here. A little more screwing around and paint it, and then give it a test drive. Pretty cool. Got the whole thing done, less painting it. Forgot what the hell I was going to say. The blade's pretty rough. But I need to lengthen that blade. It needs to come out. I got to get another 3 inches on each side of it because it doesn't just barely clears the tire, and I think that's going to be a problem. But anyway, I got all this stuff done. This winch line hooks right onto that little eye thing right there, and that little doo-wah, yada yada yada. And I got the stop in there. If you look underneath there, that stop comes up and hits against the frame. Stops it from rotating so I don't flip the quad in for in. Anyway, I think this is going to work. I got to take this all apart now and clean it up and then paint it. And then I was going to put some feet on this blade that sits straight down right there that drag on the ground to keep the blade off the ground. But I think I can do that with a winch line. I don't think I need to put the feet on there. Anyway, I'm going to clean this thing up and paint it and get that part on the quad all bolted on with good stuff. But I think this is going to work. Anyway, that winch line pulls it up out of the road. I can jam up there in deep snow without dragging the blade. This is what I wanted. I don't know if the damn thing's going to work or not. We'll see. Well, this is a finished deal. I've been running around here kind of testing it. I don't know if it's going to work or not. It's pretty jerky when it hooks up. Flip you right off the quad. But this is what it is when it's done. Creek's starting to freeze up a little bit here. I may have to put those feet on, like I talked about earlier. If it hangs up on a rock, it's pretty jarring. Anyway, I don't know how this is going to work. I have to wait for. I need some snow, I guess, to really test this thing. But at least I did. I hung it up pretty good a couple times and didn't break nothing, so that's really a good sign. But all of this stuff here is pretty good. That all seems to work good. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Here it is, all rolled up. This is what I was really after. Shows it all wound up right there. This way I can run up and down in the deep snow and not drag the blade. So, I think if I get those little feet on it, that this little thing is going to work pretty good. We'll see. All I need now is snow. Sun's almost gone. It's like 1:15. Dang. It's been hovering right around 28 degrees. It's noon right now, and I just looked, it's 29 degrees. This thing, I just checked it a while ago, it's still 5,700 gallons in a 24-hour period. So up where the catch is, it's been froze now probably 5 or 6 days, and has had no effect on the new catch I put in. So far everything's been working good, but it hasn't really got cold yet. You know, when it gets down to 0 for 10 or 12 days, then we'll really know. But so far this thing is working really good. I had a little problem with this yesterday morning. Had some sediment in the line. I don't know if it was mud left over in the line from last spring, or just sediment in the water normally. I don't know. With the redesign of this turbine, I have it rises about 2 feet right here at the end, so any sediment settles in the pipe and stays there. It doesn't go out and go through the turbine like it used to do when I had it in the other place. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. Anyway, I flushed the line, and the water's running nice and clean again. I don't know. Anyway, a little ice filled up. Still been freezing every day now. But if you look at the pipe itself, there's no ice on the top. That's it's really a good sign. Things working pretty good, actually.